Hello, my name is Shane, and for the longest time, I've always loved the idea of travel, but I always had one big issue with it. I always wanted to travel with either my friends or family, but we could never schedule a time where I was able to go when they were able to go. So, because of that, I didn't really get to travel as much as I would have loved to. And then 2020 hit, and I think we all know what happened there. We all got in lockdown, and as time went on, we were stuck in our houses. And because I got stuck in my house so long, I essentially got cabin fever. And I was like, you know what? If I don't travel by myself, I'm not going to travel. So between the cabin fever and deciding that I just need to go off on my own, I decided to do just that. I started traveling by myself. I went up to New Hampshire, I went to Maine, I went to Cape Cod, I went out to the Berkshires in western Massachusetts. I even went down to DC by myself, as well as up to Canada last year. Now, during that time, I thought it would be really cool to start a vlog, I mean, but I never actually did at the time. However, I recently decided, as I was going to my cousin's wedding in early June this year, that I would start vlogging in Ireland. Now, I didn't vlog any of my cousin's wedding because that's a family thing, but I did actually go off on my own for a bit, and I actually went up to Belfast in Northern Ireland, and I went to see the Titanic Museum. I even stayed in the Titanic Hotel as well. And that was a great experience, and I got that. Now, saying that, I didn't get nearly as much footage as I would have loved, especially for a first vlog video. But I really want to start this, because once I start this, I think I will be more into the idea of recording as I'm doing these travels. So, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna post what I got over there, and this will be my first vlog video. So, I am Shane, and I'll take you there. Well, I'm past security, and I'm now going to my plane. So, walk with me. It's gate C-17. And it looks like I'm taking a left here. And right over there is my plane. I don't know if you can see that. Well, not only have I arrived in Ireland, I've also arrived in Mayo because I forgot to record anything this morning after I landed. I'm new at this, so there's partly that, and I was also extremely tired. Speaking of which, there's only one thing at this point that I do want to do right now. And that's pop into my bed here. So, unfortunately apart from that, I didn't get any footage in Mayo. In fact, from Mayo, after the wedding, I went back to Dublin, and from there, I got a train up to Belfast. And the footage you're looking at now is a time-lapse of that trip from Dublin to Belfast. Well, I'm in Belfast now. I got off the train. It was a brilliant ride. I had the time lapse, so that's pretty cool. I'm just going to my hotel right now. Hopefully they'll let me in a little early because my check-in time is at 3, but it's only about noon right now. We'll see. If they don't let me in, hopefully they'll at least let me drop my bag off to the front for the time being so I can explore without having my bag on me. Well, we'll find out. Alright then. Well, I was able to check in. I'm at my room now, 129. And let's check it out. Oh, this is a beautiful room. Oh, really nice bathroom too. It'd be nice if I can find a light. Here it is. Oh, beautiful bathroom. Let's check outside. Yeah, well, not so much good view that view, but let's check out the other window. Where is... Here it is. Now that is proper class. Oh, this was a good decision. So, right behind me, over there, is the Titanic Hotel in Belfast. And across the street from there is the actual Titanic Museum. And that's where I'm going now. Now, I mentioned this before, but I didn't get nearly as much video as I wanted to while I was going through the museum. But I did get a lot of pictures, so here they are. And now that we're through the pictures, I did actually get one bit of video. It was a ride they had there. It was pretty fun.
King's birthday, Harlan and Wolf. That's where you worked in Belfast. My dad got me to start, then my brothers after me. You could hear the noise from where we lived, but nothing prepared you for the size of the place. They put me to work in 401. That's what we called her. We used to be the largest passenger ship in the world. We didn't call her Titanic then. I was there from the beginning. I watched the shipwrights lay the keel blocks. They set big wooden blocks on the shipwright starters. Then the keel is top of it, like a backbone. And the frames attached to that, like a skeleton. Workshops everywhere. It took weeks to find your way around. The workshops of every trade you ever heard of. Painters, sailmakers, coppersmiths, boiler makers, cabinet makers. I even learned about a big French polishing office. Barnet was just a fine place to work, but dangerous. Every ship crossed the lake, and there'd be lots of injuries besides. I was in the engine works for a while. Very well equipped it was. That's where we built the triple expansion engines. 2 of them, each as high as a 3-story house. I worked in the frame bending shop. You'd heat steel beams in the furnace, then hook them onto slabs of cast iron and hammer them curved. It was skilled work. You had to bend them more than you needed because the frame straightened out a little when it cooled. The shell plates that made up the hull weighed up to 4.5 tons. They were taller than the da. The plates were overlapped on the edges. Some were raised, one after another. We called it clincher. One of the 4 men told me years ago, that's how you built these ships. I worked as a heater boy. You had to heat the rivets on a wee plate. You pumped the bellows till the rivet was white hot. Then you get a hold of it with your tongs and throw it up to the catcher. And he put it in the hole in the plate to hold her up. There were 2 of us on the other side of the plate to hold her up. We had to hammer the rivet so it filled the hole before it turned dull red. The double bottom. That's a wee space we called the tanks, made up of steel plates. The rest of the rivet squad all had to fit into that gap. One of the 4 men would check each rivet with a special hammer. If it made a ringing sound, but have to get back and chased it out after work.
I get scared working down in that double bottom. You only had candles for light.
And constant hammering against the shell plates. You could hear it all over Belfast. Some of those boys ended up stone deaf, so they did. We were paid 31 bob a week. The heater boy and catcher got 16 bob, but we all worked the same 54 hours.
The upper deck was steel too, and part of the strength of the ship. There's no straight lines in the ship, and when you look down the weather deck, you can see the shear of the hull, the stopped her reflection at sea.
The stern frame had to be strong enough to take the rudder turning in heavy seas. You'd have all these timbers and guy wires to steady the frame, and men scurrying around like ants underneath.
When we came to launch day, I was torn between pride and fear. The standing wings were coated in tallow, train oil and soft soap. So the ship would slide when they shifted their weight off the blocks. That was the most dangerous part. And the shipwrights were knocking away the last props. They were under compression, you see, and the sliding ways would be released by the hydraulic trigger.
100,000 people watched the launch. Some paid a bob to sit in the reserved seating. There were extra trams laid on. Then we all went off to the pub to wish her well.
Ach, you were proud to be an island man that day. And Titanic was the pride of Belfast.
And with that, the Titanic Museum is done. The next day, I traveled all around the city of Belfast, just exploring the place. I even got a ton of pictures at Belfast City Hall, which is what you're seeing right now. I even got another time lapse on the way from Belfast back to Dublin, which is the video you're watching right now. Well, that was my trip to Ireland. Or, I guess for your case, my trip to Belfast, since I didn't really get any footage outside of Belfast. Honestly, it was really fun. And I did learn a lot from my vlogging experience. And hopefully, next time, I'll be getting a lot more footage with that experience now. In fact, I've already planned where I'm going next time. So, that'll be fun. Until then, I'm Shane, and I'll take you there.